Hey y'all, welcome to another video from Fabricable Garage. And today's video, we're going to be doing more framework on the Mini Model A hot rod. As you can see, I did a little bit before filming, adding this side piece right here of the frame to help it give it more structure. And the rest of the video, we're going to be adding, or cutting up and adding this part to it. These pieces of frame that I'm adding on are also from the 98 Suzuki King Quad, and that's why they have their shape like this. And also, if you notice on this one, it doesn't have that second leg right there, because on the King Quads they have that bar removable so you can take the motor out. So we'll just have to cut up a piece of metal to replace it and weld it in. Yeah, so first thing we're gonna have to do is cut off this middle piece. You can see where I cut it off there, and then we'll cut down that, and then cut down this one to size it and fit it, and then we'll tack it in. And then maybe in today's video I want to tie in I mentioned before we might not incorporate this rear mount for the engine, but I think we will. And what I'll do is run something from somewhere around here to this to make it all stronger, because even with just that one side just tacked in, it is sturdier, especially in the back, but the front still has some wiggle. So, and I also still haven't added the pieces that'll go from here to back here that I want to do. But yeah, we may also do that just today. We may or may not. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. The motor is also still loose. I just have the bolts on. I'm probably gonna tighten it up just to get a more final like where it's gonna stay, and then we'll just go from there. As you can see, we haven't installed the steering box. After I get the frame done, I either want to do the steering box first or the drive shaft. The drive shaft, it'll go from here across there, like I said before, and we'll have a carrier bearing right about here to hold this in place. But yeah, so let's get started and see where we get. Alright, so as you can see, we got that middle piece cut off and we got the end cut down. So now it'll fit better for where we're trying to put it. So all we're going to do is kind of line it up where we want it, and then just mark where we want to cut it. And when we cut it, we're going to cut it a little bit longer than where we marked, so that we have room to grind down and get it closer to where we actually want it. And then also we'll take a note of where our top piece is meeting here, and then we'll grind into it to make it a better fit. Yeah, so once it's on, this will meet up on top just like that one, and then we'll make a piece that goes from here down just like the other one. But yeah, so let's get to cutting. got those notched and ground down for welding, and now it fits nicely in there. So it'll look like that. We'll go ahead and tack it up and then make sure it's all even with that one, and then we'll make our measurements and plan to make this one, to make this piece right there, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so as you can see, we got that tacked on in place. Like I said, it's just tacked at the moment. Later on, we'll weld it all the way up. All that's left for finishing this part is to get the tube from here to here. I already got a scrap piece cut to size and then notched for this half, or basically notched for this half, but I have an idea for attaching it to this part instead of just cutting this off, which I could do and then just put it notched. What I want to try to do is, I'll show you the piece real quick. What I want to try to do, see, here's the piece. This is the end that's got the regular notch. This is the other end. It has this little bevel piece, and it was already cut at pretty much the perfect angle. And I got it marked here at the bottom of that piece. What I want to try to do is cut it in half. So I'll cut midway and then go across. Or that's the idea, at least. And then it'll just fit onto that and I can weld around it. But we'll just... Alrighty, so as you can see, we got it cut in half, and I also did bend it a little bit because this tab's got a little contour to it. So now, whenever you put it on, it just meets up to it. So we'll get it all, the surfaces ground, the paint down, and then I'll measure where it goes just so it lines up with the other side over there, and we'll get it tacked in, and yeah. See, we got it all tacked on. Turned out pretty good, and I took I sided it to see what it felt like, and it was a little bit snug. So what I actually ended up doing was cutting the tacks here and adding this little extension piece, because if you notice here it curves out, and this one was almost in line with it. Now it curves out, so there's a little bit more room. It's definitely going to be pretty snug. I can still change the seating position to maybe be a little bit higher to make that better, but it's looking pretty good. Now right now I'm making the next piece, which is going to be coming from this upper engine mount, and it's going to come back to these two. What I did is I just took some angle iron and I drilled some holes in it and cut it. And then what I'll do is I'm going to get another piece of angle iron. I'm going to cut it to, or I'm going to tighten this up real quick to get it to fit, to be pressured. And then I'm going to run a piece of angle iron across, or measure and cut and put a piece of angle iron across it to make it look nice. And then we're going to have the tubes running from there to back here. Yeah, so we'll we got that piece boxed in, and so these pieces here we'll end up going onto that and back here. I still got to shape them and everything, but that'll be in a later video. That's all the time we have for today. So if you liked, drop a like, leave a comment, and if you like the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.